Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
From one field of dreams across the street to another field of dreams, it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees lose 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox. Both games very tough losses that could have gone either way. Last night, the Yankees tied up the game but couldn't hold on in the end.
Well, Boston was really fighting for the life when they came in here. There's no doubt they have a little glimmer of hope right now. But last night, Russell Martin, after a home run, he ties it up late in the game. They had no offense going into the 8th inning. But then all of a sudden, Pedro Siriaco, who has absolutely killed the Yankees offensively this year, blooped one in. Bad break for Robertson. Ends up being the game winner for the Boston Red Sox.
And as Paul said, the Red Sox really needed that. Let's take a look at the standings right now. The Yankees and the Orioles squaring off tonight. 7.5 games separate them. The Rays are tied with the O's. Blue Jays 9 back, and the Red Sox, despite taking 2 of 3 from the Yankees, still 9.5 games out, and they are in last place. Let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Miguel Gonzalez is going to go for the O's, 2-2, 4.28. Freddie Gonzalez for the Yankees, 4-4, 5.16. Paul, last time out, Freddie started off slowly, but straightened out.
Well, it's kind of the way his season has gone. He started off really slowly, was going to the bullpen. Since he's been back, he's been very good. But out in Seattle, he got off to kind of a rough start. Boom, gave up a home run here early in the game, gave up a couple more, but then all of a sudden he found his rhythm. He ended up finding his split-fingered fastball. He ended up with 8 strikeouts and really gave the Yankees a chance to win. Came out with the lead, but ended up getting a no decision.
And the Yankees ended up losing that game. So this is the first of 3 against the Orioles, and the Orioles are still hanging there. It's amazing. No one would have thought that. How are they doing it? What's important for them? When we come back, Paul O'Neill will break it down right here on Yes. Team scouting report on the Orioles. Home run happy. Yeah, they have the 3rd most home runs in the major leagues with 127. And the bullpen is better than the starters. The starters 4.70 ERA. The bullpen 3.20. And they're hanging around. They're just 2 games out of the wild card. 53 and 49 is their record. The last winning season they had was in 1997. That was so long ago, Paul was even playing. That's Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. How are they hanging around, Paul?
Well, it's funny because they got off to a great start. They played well in April. Actually, they played well last September, and it was kind of like everybody said, wait till, September. You didn't have to wait till September. They've had a bad July, and it's got them into the wild card race instead of the American League race. But their starting pitching has been a problem, but they have played well enough to keep themselves in it. And I think Buck Showalter's a big part of that.
Yeah, he certainly has done that, and they're in second place in the American League East, so this is an important series for them. Nice crowd is expected here at the stadium, and when we come back, we'll have the lineups. First pitch, Yankees against the O's, live right here on Yes. Domino's. Order a handmade inspired pizza at Domino's.com and see the progress of your order in real time with Domino's Tracker. By the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer and by Total Recall in theaters Friday. Well, the Yankees will try to shake off losing 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox Saturday and Sunday here at the stadium. They hit the first game of that set against the Red Sox on Friday. This begins a 3-game set against the Orioles, and the Orioles have hung around, as we just said in the scouting report. No one expected them to be where they are, and here they are, 7.5 games out. Let's take a look at the O's starting lineup. Nick Markakis in right field will lead off, batting second, and playing short, J.J. Hardy. Chris Davis, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up, center fielder Adam Jones. Matt Wieters will catch, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Lou Ford. Wilson Bettermeat at third base will hit seventh. The number 8 hitter is the first baseman, Mark Reynolds. And former Met Omar Quintanilla is the second baseman, and he will bat ninth. The starter for the Yankees is Freddie Garcia. 19 games, 9 starts, a 4-4 record, 5.16 ERA. More than a hit per inning, 50 strikeouts, 17 walks. Opponents hitting .278 against him. Let's take a look now at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, hot as of late. I mean, 5 of these have been start, but out of his 10 last games, he's gone 4-2 with a 3.32 ERA, which is good. Baltimore doesn't run a lot, but they're free to go. 10 out of the last 10 base attempts have been successful against Freddie Garcia. And tough spot, he has not been real tough on. Opponents have over a 400 average with 2 outs and runners on base. So that's the one part of his game that he has to get much better at.
A little meditation before he gets ready to roll. Orioles are 53-49. The Yankees 60-41. So Markakis, who used to hit third in the lineup, has moved up to the leadoff spot since coming up the DL July 13th, hitting .342 since leading off. So he'll dig in, and Freddie Garcia is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is high, and we are underway. Orioles have not had a great July. They're 11-14 during the month, but hanging in there, still in second place, tied with the Rays.
The Orioles hit a lot of home runs, as do the Yankees, but they just have not hit well with runners in scoring position. They just have not put runs out on the board, but they don't have the pitching that the New York Yankees have to win games that are like that.
This count 2-1.
It's funny, years ago when Markakis just broke in the league, he was going to be, you know, that poster child for the organization, the third or fourth hitter, and Now you see him in the leadoff role, which is he's been very successful, but not the type of player you expect him when he broke into the big leagues.
Nice hop there for Cano, one away. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defensive schematic, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, it's Ibanez, Granderson, and Suzuki. Nick Swisher's the DH tonight. In the infield, Chavez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. Chris Stewart is behind the plate, and Freddie Garcia is on the mound.
For a defensive schematic at your age.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah. Something new, isn't it?
J.J. Hardy takes a strike. Ronald Culpa in good voice, the home plate umpire.
One of the few guys recently that's hit the ball well for the Orioles. Always has had power, but he's starting to hit the ball a lot better than average was.
2 quick strikes for Garcia. Hardy should be better than a .224 hitter. Told you about Culpa behind the plate. Let's meet the rest of the men in black. Darryl Cousins is at first. Alan Porter is at second, and Jim Wolf over third. The 1-2. Punts the other way, foul. Paul mentioned this earlier. This team has really had a lot of problems of late hitting with runners in scoring position. In the last 19 games, they're hitting .183, 24 for 131 with runners in scoring position. And you take it out to the last 39 games, it's even lower, 168. Foul back.
You know, Camden Yards is an offensive ballpark too. You have to score runs to win at home there, and you know, they've actually got a better record on the road this year. If you don't score runs at Camden Yards, the visiting teams will.
And the 1-2. Punched out to right center field. On the run is Granderson. He'll make the play. 2 outs. Let's now look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. .76 degrees, humidity is 65%, wind 10 miles per hour, and it is partly cloudy, as you can see on the top of your screen.
Partly cloudy at night really doesn't matter.
No, I would agree.
As long as it's not rain and partly cloudy, who cares? You can see the moon once in a while when the clouds are.
Couldn't agree with you more. We should have crossed it out with the telestrator. Count 0-1 to Chris Davis. Count 1-1. Yankees 5-3 against the Orioles this year, 4-1 in Baltimore, and 1-2 here in the Bronx. Count 2-1.
Freddie up in the zone a little bit. You know, that's not where he wants his fastball. Obviously, his split finger, he wants to end up in the dirt and swinging counts, but it's a pitch a little bit lower in the zone.
2-2.
Saw a lot of those strikeouts in his last outing out in Seattle. 8 to be exact, were all swinging split fingers in the dirt.
First inning has not been his friend, Paul. High ERA. Opponents have scored in the first inning in 7 of his 9 starts. So trying to stop that right here. And he does. As Davis swings and misses on the splitter. And Garcia retires him in order. So it's the Orioles nothing. And the New York Yankees coming to bat. The Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Derek Jeter's getting ready, so that's a tip-off of who leads off. It's the captain and the shortstop. Batting second and playing center, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up second baseman Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Raul Ibanez. Eric Chavez, the third baseman, hits seventh. Ichiro Suzuki in right field. He'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, Chris Stewart. Let's take a look at the numbers on Miguel Gonzalez. Young right-hander for the Orioles. 7 games, 4 starts, 2-2, 4.28. A hit per inning, 28 strikeouts, 16 walks. Opponents hitting .260 against him. Now let's take a look at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, he's a slow starter as Freddie Garcia, but even more so. I mean, in 4 career starts, has a 15.75 ERA in the first inning, but then 3.0 for the rest of the game. Minimal damage. He gives up a lot of home runs. Of the 6 home runs he's given up in his limited starts, 5 of them have been solo shots. An easy rider. What do you think that means, Michael?
Don't know.
Easy rider. He pitches well on the road, so he likes to get on the bus and ride to the ballpark. 2-0. In 4 appearances on the road this season.
27 years old, out of the Angels system. And Derek Jeter is ready. Swing and a miss.
All up and in. Actually, talking about the easy riding, they ride the train up here. Jump on the train, buzz right up like the old days.
And the Yankees, when they play Baltimore now, they take the trade down. Miguel Gonzalez, his last time out was not very good. That was against the Tampa Bay Rays. He lasted 2 2/3 innings. He hit 3 batters, walked 2, and allowed 2 home runs. That's a bad outing.
You're looking for one stat in there that you can kind of build on, and there was none.
Count 1 and 2.
See Gonzalez, he gets a little movement on that fastball into righties, and that's the tough pitch. Derek wants to stay inside the ball and try to shoot it to right field, but that's the pitch. It's really hard to do. That ball boring in on your hands.
And the 2-2. Foul ball. We mentioned that he came out of the Angels system, and he was a roommate, minor league teammate of Nick Adenhart, who passed away in a car accident a couple of years ago. And his first start was in L.A., and he wore a glove with Nick Adenhart's name on it, which Nick had given him. And he went out and pitched a great game, 7 innings, 3 hits, and a run, and he won that game. Right back to Gonzalez. 1 out. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Lou Ford's in left. Adam Jones, he can get him. He's in center, and Nick Markakis over right has a great arm. Infield, Betemit, Hardy, Quintanilla, Reynolds third to first. Meters behind the plate, and Gonzalez is on the mound.
Look at another thing. Some of their problems, Baltimore, is they don't catch the ball. They don't make the plays that they should. Betemit 14 errors, Dino 12 errors, Reynolds 10 errors. I mean, they're 9.79 ERA, but fielding percentage is 14th in the American League. So if you're not going to score a lot of runs, you better be able to catch the baseball.
They're also a little short on starting pitching. Some of the youngsters that they had a lot of hopes for, they've sent down to the minor leagues. And now the big rumor, talking to all the Oriole people before the game, is that they're about to acquire Joe Blant of the Phillies. And from what I heard from a couple people, they're just exchanging the medicals right now on the players that would be involved. And the Phillies are going to start selling off after getting swept by the Braves this weekend. And they wouldn't have to give up that much for Blant. The 1-1. 1 and 2.
You must have been doing your rounds. You get the good stuff. Where'd that come from?
I can't tell you.
Yeah?
Come on.
You've got sources, huh?
I got sources. Or gravy. The 1-2. The Orioles have been looking into acquiring big-name guys. Maybe even sniffing around a Cliff Lee or something like that. Cliff Lee seems like he might be available because the Rangers or the Phillies, as I said, are starting to get rid of some people. There's a fly ball to left. But in order to get a guy like that, they have a young infielder, Manny Machado, who's supposed to be a huge star. They say could be the next Alex Rodriguez. He's from Miami. And also Dylan Bundy, who might be the best minor league pitcher out there. And the Orioles will not give up those two players.
I saw a story about him the other day, Bundy. And I mean, just his work ethic, and his father's really involved. And I tell you, he's close.
Here's Teixeira. And a strike. There's some talk that Cliff Lee could end up going back to Texas.
You know, with the Angels picking up Greinke, all of a sudden, you know, their rotation kind of went ahead of Texas.
Yep.
You know, with Felice being down in Texas, and you know, the Rangers may feel to get by them, they need to add a third starter and somebody that will match up well in the playoffs.
The 0-2. I don't know if they want to pick up the $23-25 million a year for Lee. They would want the Phillies to pay some of it, but I'm not sure the Phillies want to. So it'll be interesting. The trade deadline is 4 p.m. tomorrow. So if anything happens during this game, of course, we'll get it to you.
You'll be right on it tomorrow. It's like high noon in your radio show.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Teixeira goes down on strike. So both starters work 1, 2, 3 first innings. We're into it. Let's go to the second. 0-0 here on Yes.
I've heard of Nathan's. Now tell me something. Corn dog or plain hot dog? Plain hot dog? All right, I want a plain hot dog and some fries. And they got to be the famous one. No, I want no cheese on it. That's a little too fattening for me, right? All right. Nathan's famous for over 95 years. Where's the hot dog? Ah, that's nice. I'm going to get some ketchup. You know Michael K? The man has never eaten ketchup in his life. First bite tells it all. I'm good.
There you have it, Paul's grub call, and he gave the rest of the hot dog to that young man.
Yeah, there was a little left for him.
You made your way around this place.
Halfway around. Finish it up for the US Open.
Those fries are good.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. 1-0 count on Adam Jones.
Outside, kudos.
Usually players don't like to negotiate contracts in the middle of a season. Adam Jones did, signed a 6-year, $85.5 million contract with the Orioles. So He's set in center field for them. He can play. He's a good player. And with incentives, it could go up to about as much as $91.5 million. So Orioles invested in a guy that they acquired from Seattle, and he's been a pleasure for them both defensively and now batting cleanup. Count 3-1. Off speed, 3-2. 50 extra base hits for Adam, and he trails Miguel Cabrera and the Yankees' Robinson Cano in that category, tied with the Twins' Josh Willingham.
Adam Jones, good solid player, and offensively has really taken off the last couple of years. 25 home runs last year. He's going to surpass that this year.
Lined over the head of Chavez, fielded out there by Ibanez. He's going to go for 2. The throw is not in time. 51st extra base hit. So a hustle double for Adam Jones.
And that's going to be a play that's going to be interesting in a couple days when Nick Swisher gets back out into left field and you get Ichiro's arm in left field. See, Ibanez gets over, kind of doesn't round it off, and he has to throw against his body. Adam Jones right out of the box going for 2 in easily. Turn that head so you don't get Jack going in, I guess.
Here's Matt Wieters. Line drive. Caught by Cano, and they're going to double off Jones. I don't know what Jones was thinking. I guess he's trying to get a jump and score. If the ball got into right field, he'd have to score on Ichiro. So a double play, 4-6.
Well, every once in a while as a runner, you just, I mean, you get a read that you just think it's a hit. That ball's up in the zone and it's hammered, but it's got topspin. Comes right down to Robbie. Jones so far off, just broke with the hit that it was no chance. But just there's no reason to freeze there. You're so far off. Sometimes, well, you just do things wrong. I mean, you make mistakes, and that's the nature of the game over 162 games. You see a couple of balls hit hard, and again, Freddie is up in the strike zone. And Adam Jones hit a double. Wieters hit the ball hard. Luckily, a double play, but that's not where he wants to pitch consistently all night.
Lou Ford has not been in the big league since 2007. And look at the stops he's made. 5 seasons with the Twins, but since then, minor leagues, Mexican League, Independent League. And that was from 08 to 2011. Really had a great season going at AAA, the Norfolk Tides. 331, 11 homers, and 40 runs batted in. The 1-2.
I'll tell you what, Freddie's been nothing but off speed against Lou Ford. And a lot of times when guys come back from the minor leagues, you don't see a lot of fastballs. I mean, down in the minor leagues, you see guys that really have, you know, big hearts and throw that fastball. But up here, a lot of off-speed stuff. And there's another one right there.
Lou Ford goes down on strikes. No runs a hit. And nobody left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the second, and Robinson Cano will lead it off. Question. With Baltimore in the wild card mix, what should they acquire before tomorrow's trading deadline? Now, you can text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply. Should they get a starting pitcher? Should they get bullpen help, bench depth, or nothing?
I'm going to give you food for thought here, Michael.
Please,
right?
yeah.
So their bullpen was really good at the beginning of the year. Now it's starting to struggle a little bit, and the reason is because their starting pitching is so bad that you start to wear out your bullpen. So do you go get another starter, or do you just bolster your bullpen because you know you're going to get to them if you're a general manager?
Look how close the wild card standings are. Everybody's bunched up. So people have a chance, despite him being under 500 like the Indians, just 5 out. Well, it's a good question, Paul. But if you get a starter, that doesn't really help the bullpen that much. Just 1 out of 5 times
exactly.
you get length. And Jim Johnson, who was lights out for them in the first half, really has slowed down here in the second half. Now, some of the same people, sources that I spoke to. And this is going to be very interesting because this is the first time we've had that one-game wild card. And the thought is, why should the Orioles trade one of their top prospects for a 2-month rental to possibly add 9 innings to their season?
There are some teams, and I think Baltimore's in that class, that it's been so long since they've stepped foot on a field in a playoff situation that you need to get those organizations back in those positions. You agree?
Yes, I do, but I wouldn't give up Machado or Bundy.
No, I don't think that you give up your. I mean, there are a few of your prizes that you don't give up. I don't care who you get.
I could not believe that shot we just had. Buck Showalter was actually relaxing.
It's early. It's real early.
I mean, he was like he was in Park bench in Central Park.
Gonzalez has a 15 ERA in the first inning. He's through the first inning. Like it's going to be an easy day.
Lined into left field. Lou Ford comes on to make the play. Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. I've never seen him this relaxed.
He's thinking, pondering.
Well, he's always thinking. Legs across, arm back, and like he's at a movie. He's done a good job with this Orioles team.
He has. I mean, he knows baseball. He's been around it. He knows teams. He knows how to win. Doesn't always have the resources to get there, but you know, he definitely is a good baseball guy.
And if you look at his history, it's amazing. In his second full season, wherever he is, the team takes a quantum leap forward. Now, you were here when he first started managing. What did you think? Did you think he'd be a good manager?
I love playing for him. I mean, I've said it numerous times, prepared more than any other manager that I ever played for. And I've played for 5 or 6 of them. I see Nick Swisher there swinging the ball at the dirt. But I mean, he was at the ballpark for hours and hours just thinking how to get an extra out, an extra run, an extra win. And every once in a while, they would come to play. And as a player, you would think, all that time and effort, but we won tonight because of that one thing. And a lot of veteran teams, you don't really need that. But when you're trying to fight good teams that are a little bit better than you, and you look at the American League East, you might have to steal a game here or there to stay in contention.
One, two. Strike 3. Swisher. Down looking.
Gonzalez doing some off-speed stuff, and then he threw that two-seam fastball that kind of ran back over the inside corner, kind of locks up the left-handed hitter. The movement back over, borderline inside, borderline high. We got the call. Now remember this, Michael. I'm talking about a weird thing. We were in a scouting meeting one time, Buck Showalter. We were playing the Chicago White Sox. Frank Thomas would not take infield because he didn't want to throw the ball. Buck Showalter knew that. We went over, and he said, close game late. You get picked off intentionally. Don't go back to the base. Make Frank Thomas throw you out at second base. Take him out. All right, great job. Gerald Williams on first base gets picked off. Frank Thomas throws it into left field. He ends up at third base, scores. We win a game.
Wow.
That was the kind of stuff that entered his mind. Like I said, in the Yankees' mind right now, you don't need that kind of stuff because you don't try to do trick plays to win games because you're that good.
1-1. I remember I once asked Buck, because he would get to the ballpark, and Paul could attest to this, 1 o'clock for Nike, and he knew. And I said, all this extra work, I mean, what could it mean? What could it translate to? He said, 1 or 2 wins a year. I said, is it worth it? And he looked at me and goes, is it worth it? He said, how many pennants are won by 1 or 2 games? Ibanez lines on the left field, a 2-out single. Yankees first base runner of the night. So 1 on 2 outs, that'll bring up Chavez, and you can follow the Yankees with a MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details.
I'll tell you what, Raul Ibanez has gone through a period of about a month and a half where every time he steps to the plate, he's having good at-bats, whether it's a pinch hit or whether it's he's getting his 4 or 5 at-bats because he's playing left field. And as much as he's played this year, the Yankees could have never guessed that he would in spring training have this many at-bats at this point of the year. I'll tell you what, he has, for the last couple months, really put together good at-bats.
He had a great at-bat yesterday against Aceves, and it shows you that you can have a great at-bat and make it out. He ended up losing that battle, but he made Aceves work, and he kept fouling pitches off, and finally it was a nasty pitch that he swung over the top. But he did a good job in that at-bat.
I mean, that's coming off the bench, and I was talking to Kevin Long about it today. Coming off the bench is extremely hard to pinch hit, and that was an 8 or 9, 10 pitch at bat. He hit a couple balls hard, just hooked him foul, and it was a pinch hitter. That's very, very hard to do. There's my sources right there, Mike.
Kevin Long?
Kevin and Joe Girardi. That's my sources.
Kind of a wave in the count, 2-2. Java Chamberlain will pitch again tomorrow, I believe, for Trenton. And we could see him activated on Friday against Seattle. He's been throwing 97 to 100 miles an hour.
Definitely will add some excitement to Yankee Stadium, and I think teams need that every once in a while.
Oh, balk. So they're going to move Ibanez to second. Home plate umpire Ronald Culpa saw a balk.
He didn't argue, so it definitely was a balk. And Buck Showalter's one of the rule books. Let's see what he did. Didn't
stop.
Didn't stop.
You have to come to a discernible stop. Count 3-2. Now here's the payoff. Foul back. Ichiro's on deck. Hit sharply past the diving Reynolds and down the right field line. Ibanez will score. Chavez stops at first. Markakis gets it in. It's an RBI single, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
When you talk about Eric Chavez and some of the things he hasn't done well, the things that he does do well, I mean, he can still hit a fastball. He's still quick defensively. The Yankees are very glad to have him with Alex Rodriguez out of the lineup.
Smart not to test Markakis, who has a great arm, so he'll just take the single and the ribby. And that's been one place that he wasn't that great this year. 6 for 33 before that at bat with runners in scoring position, but he gets home Ibanez. Here is Ichiro. 6-game hitting streak. He's hit every single game. He's been a Yankee. A hit a game. Fly ball left field. Blue Ford comes on, and he will make the play for the final out of the second. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 2 at the stadium. Yankees 1, and the Orioles nothing. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Freddie Garcia has a 1-0 lead, and former Yankee Wilson Betemit will lead off here in the third. First pitch inside, 1-0. Including tonight's game, the Orioles have 60 games remaining on their schedule. 50 of those games are against teams that are currently leading their division. See the Lincoln scoreboard, 1-0 Yankees. Yankees, Rangers, and White Sox. Or are within 5 games in the wild card race. Tigers, A's, Rays, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. High drive, deep to right. Ichiro back on the track, looking up. See ya. Game is tied at 1.
Freddie Garcia has thrown so many off-speed pitches, and I think it's because he cannot get his fastball down where it gets synced. See Betemit just tied up on one of those off-speed pitches, and in Yankee Stadium, if you get it up in the air, obviously we know where it ends up. It's kind of a hanging slider right over the middle of the plate. Doesn't really kill it, but boy, I'd love to hit those in Yankee Stadium, second row. Yeah. I believe, Freddie, that a couple on your side are coming back at him, though. That's the thing. You got to realize in the ballpark that you're pitching in, that as many as you give up, your team's going to make up for it.
Now 1-1 to Mark Reynolds. Reynolds has always been a home run hitter, has just 8 home runs this year. And he has 94 strikeouts. Line drive to left, a base hit. 94 strikeouts and 252 at bats.
And, you know, early in the year when he was hitting his home runs, and you'll put up with that. But obviously, it's almost like Adam Dunn from last year. You know, if you're not going to hit 30 or 40 home runs, you've got to put the ball in play more.
And also, he's really struggled defensively too. So he's giving Showalter a lot of reasons not to have him in. Here's Omar Quintanilla, acquired from the Mets for cash considerations, and he's done a good job for Baltimore.
explain the cash consideration? So you consider giving cash, or you don't, or would you just throw a number out there? What happens?
They give you cash, but we just don't know how much it is, so we say cash considerations. There's his resume. First round pick for the A's in 2003, 33rd pick of that draft. Runner goes. Little hit and run, grounded foul.
We talked about it early in our scouting report that, you know, the Orioles don't run a lot. Adam Jones will run a little bit, but Freddie Garcia has been so bad at holding runners on. Last 10 runners have all been successful. You might have to try to push some buttons. Don't have to be a great base stealer to steal on a pitcher who's slow to the plate and throws a lot of balls in the dirt off speed.
Count 1-2. Grounded to first. There's one, and they throw to second for 4-2.
One of the hardest plays to make as a first baseman because you can't get an angle to throw. The easy part is catching the ball and getting your first out, but then you have to throw over to sloop it enough because you can't get an angle to get the ball to Derek, and it's going to be a close play. Good job by Mark Teixeira. So you're throwing right over Reynolds' back, and you can't put too much on it because you'll sail the shortstop. Kind of a touch throw there, Mike.
Right over the cornerback shoulder. Nick Markakis grounds one through for a base hit.
Well, those double plays make those singles look a lot easier. Now you still have 2 outs. Easy way to get out of the inning.
Snap throw to first, tussling back is Markakis.
J.J. Hardy always kind of amazed me at his stance is far away that he holds it back from his body. It's almost, you know, it becomes an arm swing, but he hits with power. And most guys, you know, you kind of load on your backside and you have everything kind of sync together. It just seems to me how it's hard to get to the ball with your hands that far away from your body.
The 0-1. 1-1. Chris Stewart staring into the Yankee dugout. Last year, Hardy had 30 home runs for the O's, and that was a career high. And that one is chopped right to Cano. He gets a nice hop, steps on the bag, and that will do it. But the Orioles tie the score, 1 run on 3 hits, a home run by Bettamy, 1 man left. Stewart leads off the 3rd. Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. By J&R Music and Computer World, and by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Here at the stadium, not quite dark yet, as the Yankees and the O's are tied at 1. Chris Stewart will lead off. It'll be 9-1-2 against Miguel Gonzalez. I found it a little bit curious that Russell Martin was not in the lineup today after having another decent night. It's happened twice now where Russell looks like he's getting his swing back, and then Chris Stewart is in there. And usually it's when CC Sabathia is on the mound, but Joe Girardi said he just liked the matchup of Stewart and Garcia together, and Russell Martin with that home run and the RBI single to tie it late in the game is watching from the bench. Popped up. Leaders makes the play in foul territory for the first out. Got to bring up Derek Jeter. Now, Paul, you mentioned earlier when Nick Swisher, who's the DH today, actually does get back in the field. Could be any day now. He'll play right. Ichiro is going to play left. He's never played a regular season game in left field. Did play a playoff game in 2001 against the Yankees in left. You made that switch. You came over from the Reds, and Danny Tortable was out and right. You went to left. Difficult or not?
It's different. I don't know if it's difficult. It takes work. And it was interesting you say that, because I was watching batting practice today and noticed a couple fly balls going to left, and Ichiro was out taking balls in left field. And all it is getting used to the way the ball curves, because it curves completely opposite the way it does in right field. So it's a bigger outfield that he's used to. Left field is the biggest outfield here, obviously. But you know, he's athletic, and he's a really, really good outfielder. So I would think that it'll be an easy adjustment for him.
1,797 career starts in the outfield. He did play a couple of years in center, so he's familiar there, but just never a regular season start out in left. And it's curious because Nick Swisher has played left in the major leagues, but you know, Yankee GM Brian Cashman said Nick Swisher's our right fielder.
Right.
So Ichiro is a guy that was one of the checklists the Yankees gave him. Would you be willing to bat in the bottom of the order? Would you be willing to play left field? And you know you're going to sit against some left-handers, and he said yes on all those.
Right. You know, he was in a situation where he wanted to come and play for a team to bring some excitement back. Seattle has been past that for a few years, and you know, again, he has made adjustments just coming over here, and that's what happens when you're a player. You have to adjust to the team you're going to. You know, the Yankees aren't going to adjust to everything that you need, and you know, he seems happy to be here. He's done well since he's been here, and I don't think the left field thing is going to be that big of a deal for him just because he's a very good outfielder.
Swing and miss.
Good slider. Gonzalez, first time up, kind of busted Derek in. And all of a sudden, you know, your next time up, you're looking for that ball in, and then you just kind of snap a slider off. Good pitch.
Three-two. Tough hop for Hardy. Stays with it and gets Jeter for the second out.
Boy, every once in a while, you said it, Michael, the ball hits right on the crease of that grass and kind of keeps the ball down. Talk about earlier in the day. See, Michael, I wasn't lying to you. I was standing right there behind the cage watching Ichiro. I don't know if he'll take him that easy in the game, but it's just to see the ball off the bat and you know, kind of pick it up, and your footwork's completely different, so it takes a little while.
Kind of sad that a player of that ilk, really a Hall of Fame player, was in the playoffs his first year and never returned.
Double Hall of Fame. Be a Hall of Fame in Japan and here, right? I would think.
I would think so. 1-2.
I'll tell you what, Gonzalez has done what really, really good pitchers do, and that's get through the order the first time around with good hard stuff. And all of a sudden you saw with Derek a slider. Well, he's throwing back-to-back change-ups to Granderson. Back with the fastball away, but all of a sudden you start adding other pitches in the second and third time through the lineup. That makes it tough. changeup.
Granderson goes down on strikes. Wieters gets the angle, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Miguel Gonzalez. We're going to go to the fourth. Yankees and the Orioles are tied at 1. Chris Davis, Adam Jones, and Matt Wieters against Freddie Garcia. Wiley at the game. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. From 1990 to 1994, different Yankee led the team in RBIs each season. Who were they? Oh, in the bottom fourth.
I can tell you one of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't. Line drive and base hit for Chris Davis. So we just showed the Donald. Now, you hang with those sort of people. So look at Donald Trump. He's at the ball game. He's impeccably dressed. Look, the tie is perfect knot. You ever think he's relaxed, like with a T-shirt and gym shorts?
Well, I was just going to say, he is one of the most fun guys to ever play golf with.
I heard he's a really good golfer.
He is a very good golfer, and you think he would be uptight, but most relaxed round of golf, more fun than you'll ever have.
But he doesn't have a tie on.
No.
Okay.
He's dressed well. He doesn't believe in shorts.
Okay.
That's the old school there, but, a blast to play golf with.
Wow. Here's Adam Jones.
Oh!
I could never make a knot as well as he did.
So you don't think those are clip-ons?
No, that's not a clip. Donald does not have a clip.
You know the secret? You get a good knot,
right,
and then you don't take it out. You just hang it in the closet and just tie it right. You don't have to retie it.
Hot shot to short. There's one. Jones hit it hard, but right at Jeter. Made a nice play to start a 6-4-3.
Again, Freddie Garcia, ball up. He's been very fortunate so far that the balls have hit hard, but this ball comes up to Derek. Good feed to Robbie. And you see, Robbie, when you have time as a second baseman, you can drop that angle of the arm. See how low he gets there? And you make that runner get down so he can't take you out. You learned that in the minor leagues, Michael. One time I didn't get down and got hit right in the top of the helmet.
In the bigs?
No, in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Those are the little things you learn in the minor leagues. That they don't care if you get down or not. They'll make you get down by the angle that they throw the ball.
Wieters lined into a 4-6 double play in the second. Count 1-1.
Talking about, it's protection for the second baseman to drop that angle of his arm down, and you know, it keeps the runner, but a lot of times the runner just takes for granted they're going to stay on top, and a lot of times that play becomes a lot closer. And you'll see this. Robbie gets down in here, but you'll see this ball almost hits him right in the head. And if he doesn't get down at that instant, that ball goes right off your helmet. See, you start ducking right there when you see that ball come out of the glove. It's probably your forte, Michael, taking that second baseman out, breaking up a double play.
No, probably taking one to the head.
I didn't even want to say you had a bigger target than most people, but you know what? You walk right into these things. You're making my day go better here, Mike.
Alley-ooping you.
You know what? I had a tough start to the day, too.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Okay, so you open up your suitcase, right? It's like a duffel bag.
Right.
And all of a sudden, oh, no, I didn't put the lid on the protein powder right. So it's like somebody threw a bucket of sand all over my clothes. And then, so I take Neville over to the store, and I kind of back up into a telephone pole. So I'm like, all right, so I'm 0 for 2 here. So where's this day going, huh?
And I've helped you out.
And now it's going good.
Wow. Was it damage to the pole or to the car?
There's a little damage to the car. Yeah,
wow.
they just don't make them like they used to, Michael.
Well, poles, the cars.
The tail lights. My wife told me she's going to take my license away from me.
That's like 0 for 3, your first 3 at bats.
Exactly.
3-2. Lined into center field, and Granderson will play it on a hop. So a base hit for Wieters.
And you see a totally different angle that Curtis Granderson took on that ball. That ball right there, you know, leading off an inning, or you might go for that ball, but with 2 outs, you don't take a chance. And, you know, he took a route to the ball out and around. See, all the way up in the Oriole on the scoreboard when I drew that. But, you know, he didn't take that angle straight to the ball where it can get by him. Just a smart center fielder right there, knowing that there's 2 outs, give up a single and not the triple.
Curtis took a bad route to Pedro Siriaco. Fly ball to right center on Saturday. Ended up costing the Yankees that game. There's a strike. And here's Saturday night and the Siriaco drive. He makes that play 999 times out of 1,000, but he didn't make it then. It cost the Yankees a game. 0-1 to Ford.
You know, Freddie Garcia and Gonzalez are almost backwards. Freddie has been all off-speed pitch, split fingers, sliders, where Gonzalez is just starting to show those pitches. Wonder if Freddie's going to start throwing more in the fastball. You see that fastball is off the plate almost just to show these guys where he can get back to where he's comfortable throwing his split finger and his slider.
Teixeira looks for the seats, finds him, and then catches the ball for the final out. So Lee Ford is out, and that'll do it for the O's. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mark Teixeira will lead it off. All right, it's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. From 90 to 94, different Yankee led the team in RBIs each season. Who were they? So one of them's you, right? That's why you laughed.
I think 94 I did, yeah.
Let's see, Tartable in 93, Mattingly in 92, Mel Hall in 91, and Jesse Barfield in 90. That's when it all started to turn in 94. And 2 of those 5 actually made it onto Seinfeld.
I can tell you those, too.
Tartable and O'Neill. And Buck did, too, and Jeter and Bernie, I think.
Yeah.
Here's Teixeira. Got to send out happy birthday wishes, Paul. My little buddy Lenny Toby, 13 years old, the son of Len Toby, who was one of the sergeants that used to patrol around here at the stadium. So little Lenny is a huge Yankee fan, watches all the games, so happy 13th birthday to him. That makes the seats.
I'm glad little Lenny's like 13. Because if he was like 50, I'm like, you Gilligan, your little buddy here? 13. God, do you remember when you were 13, Michael? Wow.
Here's the 1-1. Hey, interesting story in the paper today. Mark Teixeira said that he started to turn around when he stopped trying to hit the ball the other way against the shift. And they said somebody high up in the Yankee organization told him to hit the ball the other way. He said it wasn't Kevin Long. He wouldn't say who it was. Joe Jory said it wasn't me. Brian Cashman said it wasn't me, as Teixeira swings and misses, so nobody exactly knows who said it.
Well, I know we're not high up, so it wasn't you or I either.
It wasn't us. I mean, we're literally high up, over the field, but that's about it. So it was kind of mysterious the way he left it. He said, I just decided I can't hit that way. And he knows that. He said, I'm not going to be able to hit for a high average anymore because of the shift. He said also when you're 32, it's different than when you're 25.
Right.
He said, but I could still get you 30 and 100 driving runs, and I figured that's the way I'm best going to help the team.
Well, the last month or so, he's been a 300 hitter. I mean, it's just you're comfortable doing certain things, and when you try to change them, especially at the major league level, it can cause problems. And you get other things in your mind other than what you do naturally. It kind of clouds things up.
Driven out to center field. Jones there will make the play for the second out. I wonder, Paul, that's kind of what happened to you in Cincinnati, right? You were more of a hitter that went the other way, and they wanted you to pull the ball and hit home runs.
Yeah, I mean, I was naturally a guy that wanted to hit the ball to left center field. That was my natural swing. And Cincinnati, they wanted more home runs, and back then, to hit home runs, you had to pull the ball, and it didn't help me for a while. And yeah, I think Mark Teixeira is 100% right that you have to hit the way you're comfortable hitting. That's the way you're going to put yourself day in and day out in the best position to be successful.
Nick, the DH tonight, struck out looking. Good pitch by Gonzalez in the second. Foul ball, just barely foul. Nick missed close to a week with a hip flexor problem. So his first action in about a week when he pinch hit on Saturday. And then he DH'd last night, DHing again tonight. Hammered foul.
And Gonzalez is doing a good job of moving the ball around in the strike zone. You talk about the quadrants of the strike zone, low and away, up and away, in and low and up and in, and he's used all of them to Nick Swisher.
Swing and a miss. And Swisher down on strike. So 7 in a row retired by Gonzalez. We're going to go to the 5th. Yankees and the Orioles are tied at 1 here on Yes. It's 1-1. And there's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar situated in center field. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. It's not 102 degrees in there. Was that on your grub crawl?
I haven't been there yet, but I'm sure it is. Like I said, we're in stage 2. Got a few left.
Cadillac scoreboard 1-1, top of the 5th.
You see Wilson Betemit, he hit a hanging slider last time for a home run. Garcia's definitely going to try to stay away from that. Ran that ball away, but still, it's 80-mile-an-hour changeup. Three off-speed pitches. You almost expect him to waste a fastball in this position. Away with there too. Hung that ball right over the middle of the plate. And every once in a while, as a pitcher, if you think, you know, I can't throw this pitch, you end up throwing that pitch. And that's the same pitch that Betemit hit out his first time up. The difference was he's got 2 strikes on him now. A little more defensive.
Yankees had Betemit in 2007, then they traded him to the White Sox in the deal that got them Nick Swisher, so a good deal for the Yanks.
And there's that fastball. Do you just kind of show him that you will throw that pitch? He meant to get it up and in to get him off the plate. Trying to set up the split finger away.
Broken bat and kicked by Garcia, and that cost him the play. Jeter would have had that play and gunned down Betemit, so Betemit will reach on the infield single.
Well, he did everything he could. I mean, he set up that split finger away, but then he, you know, by a reaction, just stuck his foot out. You don't think about it. It's an easy play for Derek. A lot of times, again, Betemit hit it off the end of that broken bat, and you just kind of stick your foot out by a reaction, and it costs you a base hit. Garcia's been very good at this point to get double plays tonight. It was Kuroda last night. What did he have, 5 or 6 last night? Career high.
He pitched very well, didn't get a decision, gave up 2 runs. Mark Reynolds fouls one off. Weird stat. Garcia has gotten 3 double plays tonight. Coming into this game, he had not induced a double play in 20 straight appearances. A lot of those obviously were relief appearances. Not a double play type of pitcher. Get the ball in the air. The 0-1. Lined in the left field, it's a base hit. Ibanez will play it off the wall. Betemit goes to second. Goes to third. Moving into second is Reynolds. And the Orioles have runners on second and third and nobody out.
And that's Freddie Garcia with his fastball, but it's up in the zone, and he has not been able to keep that fastball down. When you're 87 miles an hour and you're up, you're going to get hit hard. It ain't good here. You see this thing coming right in your living room, and it kept it in the park. Anias does a good job throwing behind the runner, trying to catch Reynolds.
Let's see how the Yankees play this. Quintanilla wrapped into a 3-6 double play. That one is laced in the left center field. Granderson on the run, he'll make the play. Tagging is Betemit, he'll score. Reynolds moves to third. It's a sac fly for Quintanilla, and the Orioles lead 2-1.
Reynolds did a good job there. Obviously, the Betemit's going to tag up and make it easy, but Reynolds has to try to read that ball. And off the bat, that ball looked like it was hit. He didn't get too far off. You'll see right here, didn't get too far off so he could read it. Granderson moving to his right allows Reynolds to step in and tag up and get to third.
And that's important with 1 out. Now he can score on another fly ball, and the Yankees will bring the infield in with Markakis at the plate.
Markakis has had good at-bats off Garcia, so you've got to look for something different. hold both balls with balls away. You would think that he would try to pound him inside, try to keep the ball in the inside or the infield. To that point where you try to make a perfect pitch, you do realize that first base is open with one out. And if you're hitting right here, you almost have to look off speed.
High fly to Ichiro. He's got a great arm. Tagging is Reynolds. Here's the catch. Here's the throw. He's in there. A sac fly for Markakis. It's 3-1-0s.
You know, on the target, he had a chance, but you know, if you're Ichiro and you're excited, you're in Yankee Stadium, you just put, you know, his aim was off a little bit, and he waited back, and he does have a strong arm. But you'll see it. If this ball's on the target, he's got a chance. Reynolds did a good slide. Every once in a while, as a right fielder, you want to throw so good that you just kind of overthrow it and you lose your target.
So 2 runs in as the Orioles are leading 3-1. Here's J.J. Hardy with a 1-0 count. Yeah, strike.
So Reynolds, good base running to get him to third, end up getting the Orioles another run. Send them up 3-1.
Count 1-2.
You'll see he's had good off-speed stuff, but he just has not been able to locate his fastball. When he needs to get in on a guy to show him that fastball, he can't get it down. Everything's up. Pretty consistent on the pitch counts, huh?
2-2.
You know, Michael, we talked a lot about the trade deadline and the wild card and the next thing, and I'm just looking up at the scoreboard, and a lot of these games last year didn't matter. Tampa Bay, Oakland, big game. Boston, Detroit, big game. The only game up there that really doesn't, isn't in the running is Toronto, Seattle. So this extra wild card has really added a lot the last 2 months of the season.
And in fairness, if the Red Sox game matters and Toronto matters, they're ahead of the Red Sox. So they're within striking distance in the wild card too. Here it is. Blue Jays 3.5 out. Red Sox 4 out. The top 2 there would qualify. Athletics and the Angels. And boy, the A's surprised everybody.
Including me. I mean, you going into the year, and you saw them early too. It's just, did you ever expect them to be in this position?
Getting great pitching. The kid Cespedes can really play, and they're still looking to make another deal, maybe bring in another hitter. And the 2-2 count full at 3-2. Good fastball there for Garcia at 89 miles an hour.
You see him snatch that ball back. He just cannot locate his fastball tonight when he needs to. You don't have to throw it a lot, but when you're able to throw it in certain counts you've set up, you need to be able to throw it for strikes.
Fly ball, left field, coming on Ibanez, slides, he can't make the play. So a base hit for J.J. Hardy.
Number 2 outs, J.J. Hardy. It's very hard to do as a runner because you hit the ball off the end of the bat and you're kind of watching the play in front of you. But if you run the whole way and know that he doesn't come up with it like he doesn't here, good time to take a chance at going to second base with 2 outs.
So Hardy picks up a single, 1 for 3 tonight. And that brings up Chris Davis. Count 1-0. Count 1-1. What's he saying there?
Who, the man in my ear?
No. Chris Davis. Do a lot of talking to himself. The 1-1. 1-2.
Trying to process and at bat, tell yourself what to do, stick with it, and especially against Freddie Garcia, you can't get ahead of yourself and just look for that fastball every pitch, because he just does not going to offer you that a lot.
And a ball. Second ball tonight. Bob Davidson's nowhere in sight. We'll have to see what Freddie Garcia did. And those are big. Now he's in scoring position. He could score on a single. Well, he started to turn before he stepped off.
Again, off speed. Left-hander's perspective, Freddie Garcia tonight is a good guy to just look into that left center field gap, especially the men in scoring position. A lot of times, if your approach is to left field, you're ahead of the ball enough that you'll pull the ball without hooking it foul.
Crossed up there is Stewart, and moving to third is Hardy. See how they score that, but obviously Stewart didn't know what pitch was coming.
Split finger that kind of got away from him. Most of the times those split fingers are down in the zone. You see Stewart come up and the ball just stayed up.
Scored a pass ball. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees down by 2, top of the 5th. Blocked there by Stewart. Doesn't roll far enough away. Joe Girardi's Yankee team has lost 7 of the last 10, but still hold a commanding lead in the AL East. 7.5 over these Orioles, but losing 3-1 here tonight.
It's funny how quick it changed, because right after the All-Star break, we were doing games and it was just like, they were heads above it. Just you couldn't see how they could lose, and all of a sudden in a long season, things change.
High fly ball, deep center. Granderson is there and makes the play with 1 foot on the warning track for the final out. But the Orioles take the lead, 2 runs on 3 hits. We're halfway through. O's up by 2. Paul, we have more fun and games for you. It's called the Yes Network Games. Here's what you do. You tweet the trivia questions about tonight's opponent to hashtag Yes Network Games. Each night, one question is going to be chosen and asked to the announcers. That would be us and Meredith. And tune into the game to see if the announcers answer your question.
You know, a month ago, this would have meant nothing to me, but now that I'm a Twitter guy,
that's right.
I can do this stuff.
That's
you know?
right. But you won't even have to look at your account. They will give us the question.
All right.
All right.
So now basically it's just an embarrassment when you don't know the answer.
Exactly. So we'll have a whole week of this. A whole couple of weeks. Now, we already have the question because it was announced in the pregame, and we will give that after Ibanez is back. Count 2-0.
Do we start with the given amount of money and we can bet what we want if we know the answers? It's like Jeopardy or something?
No, it's not Jeopardy. It's
all
not
or
You Bet
nothing.
Your Life.
It's all or nothing.
Cadillac scoreboard 3-1. It's all about pride, Paul. The 2-0. 2-1. High pop-up. And out of play. Along with Paul O'Neill and Meredith Moragovitz, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Orioles lead the Yankees 3-1.
No, Michaels, there's 3 of us playing. Right. Meredith, myself, and you. At the end of the week, I hope I'm not in last place because that's not good.
I'm guessing you will be.
Really?
Yeah.
You got that much faith in me, huh?
I do. Huh? I know exactly where you're going to end up. That one is driven deep to right field. Looking up is Markakis. See ya! A home run for Ibanez. And it's 3-2-0s. Home run of the year for Ibanez.
And you talk about balls up. Well, this is a ball up. Raul Ibanez has just become a good hitter in this ballpark in the last couple months. He puts together good at bats, and he missed. Gonzalez did. Home run.
Chavez swings and misses.
Gonzalez has been really good about location, and he missed there. And we said it last series, Michael, the misses here, the mistakes by pitchers, usually don't come back. They're usually not singles or doubles. They're home runs.
Let's take a look at that Coors Light cold hard blast.
This will be a fastball. You see, ball up in the zone. Watch it travel.
Served the other way, foul.
Eric Chavez. Last night I watched him pinch hit, and it looked like he was just trying to pull everything. And if you remember him in Oakland, he'd take the ball the other way. And as much time as he's going to get now, he doesn't have to put himself in a position where it's home run or nothing every time up. And a lot of times players do that when they don't get action. But with Alex Rodriguez being out of the lineup, Eric Chavez can go back to his glory days in Oakland and use all of the field and have plenty of bats.
Served into center field. Adam Jones makes the play for the first out. All right, here's the tweet question that made it through tonight. Who's the only Orioles pitcher to record a victory in the 1996 American League Championship Series? And that's at Binder Girardi. The only Orioles pitcher to record a victory in the 1996 ALCS.
At Binder Girardi. So is Girardi part of this?
No, but somebody named themselves after Joe's loose leaf.
Okay.
I think I know the answer.
Yeah, what else is new? You got somebody cheating for you.
No, I don't. Fly ball center field for the second out.
There'll be no media involved in this, Michael. Put your iPhone down. Don't be calling Wikipedia or something to cheat.
Calling Wikipedia? I don't have his number. Well, you played in that series. You should know.
I'm trying to think of my at-bats. The horrible night I had. Who pitched that night?
Stewart bunts and bunts foul. I don't particularly like that music, though. It sounds like a 70s game show.
I thought we were in the game show. Really? I thought it was a dating game or something.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
I was going to walk behind the curtain
for Jim
over.
Lang.
Have you written anything down yet?
No, because I know you're going to be looking over my shoulder.
You know what? It would be the first time.
I'll do it during the commercial where I could turn away from you.
I got to follow you to the bathroom where you're writing in it or something?
No, I will not be writing in the bathroom. So David Phelps getting ready. Boy, he's pitched well since coming back from the minors. Count 1-2 on Stewart. High fly ball left field. Ford there, and that will do it. But the Yankees get a home run for Raul Ibanez. So they are now 3-2 behind the Orioles. Orioles 3-9-0. Yankees 2-3-0. And we'll have our answers to that trivia question when we come back. We got from Twitter today in the Yes Network games, and it's from @BinderGirardi, and the question was, who's the only Orioles pitcher to record a victory in the 1996 ALCS? Wait. All right, let's see what the answer is, and then we'll show you our cards. That's Meredith, by the way. Oh, you want our guesses first, all right? So here's a nice card that they spent a lot of money to print out.
Look at that.
Adam Jones takes that. So here's my answer. Right here. How about you, Meredith?
That's what I went with.
Right.
I added a bonus, by the way.
I put Scott Erickson.
Wait, what was your bonus there? Bonus, Paul struck out 2 times, Meredith said.
Oh, you weren't on that back there cheating then.
She called Wikipedia, didn't she?
I did not. I absolutely did not.
Oh, you remember that game, right?
It was a guess. I don't know.
And the answer is David Wells. As Adam Jones is gunned down by Jeter. So just as Paul had predicted, after one day of the Yes Network games, you are in last place, Paul.
That's fine. I like comebacks. I like to come back at the end. Just grab your heart and just take the victory from you.
Well, Meredith and I are tied
No, she got extra bonus points because she knew.
There's no extra credit.
She knew I struck out twice.
No, I just made that up. I don't know if that's true or not. I just thought maybe you would remember.
All right, so there it is, our exciting first edition of the Yes Network games.
Wow.
Matt Wieters grounds one to first. Tough hop. Grabbed there by Teixeira. Early standings, Paul.
At least I'm closer to Meredith than you.
Well, just alphabetically. No, that's even wrong. And we'll see Meredith on the post-game show with Bob and Jack. We have to find out what you did against Wells in that game.
Oh, good. I didn't hit Burma too well.
For someone with his pitching ability, he did bounce around.
Yeah.
Baltimore, Cincinnati, Toronto. The Yankees traded him for Roger Clemens. Red Sox, back to the Yankees.
Detroit,
yeah. Popped up. Cano was there. And that'll do it. Paul, you were 1 for 2 in that game with a walk and a strikeout. So Marakovitz lost the extra credit. Yankees trailing 3-2 as we go to the middle of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Now a business update from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Again, the question with Baltimore in the wild card mix, what should they acquire before tomorrow's trading deadline? You've been texting us for the first part of the game, and here's how you voted. 54% say they need a starting pitcher, and that starting pitcher could be Joe Blanton.
24% said nothing, and you'll like it. Huh?
Derek Jeter will start it off against Miguel Gonzalez, who's pitched very well. Holds a 3-2 lead. Fouled away. What's your take on Gonzalez so far?
You know, I really like the way he's mixed up his pitches. Early in the game, he went all hard stuff. Last time, he went some soft stuff. This time, after getting Derek out with an off-speed pitch, now he went back with a fastball. See if he ends up going back in, try to get him out late in the count.
Check swing. He did not go. That's Darryl Cousins.
He was one of my favorites.
Really? Why?
Because he made the guy throw the ball over the plate. A lot of the umpires, if it was in the vicinity, it was a strike. Darryl, he called long games because pitchers had to throw the ball over the plate.
There's probably not an umpire that both pitchers and hitters are.
No, you're either a pitcher's ump or a hitter's ump. There's no doubt about it. Tim McClellan probably is the biggest gray area back there because he's not one or the other. He's pretty consistent.
Two-one. There's a base hit. Markakis cuts the ball off, and Jeter stops at first with a single. We are back at it again tomorrow night. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Chris Tillman will go for the O's. Good record against Ivan Nova, 10-4, 4.08. It all begins at 6 with the BP show. 6:30 the pregame show. And then 7:07 first pitch right here at the stadium and on Yes. So Jeter's on first. Nobody out. Here's Granderson. Yankees trail 3-2.
You saw that base hit by Derek Jeter, and it was a fastball, but it was a fastball that was out over the plate. And Derek can handle that ball. Good piece of hitting, shoot it to right field, as he's done over 3,000 times in his career.
That base hit for Derek was his 130th of the year, and he's second in the American League to the Tigers' Miguel Cabrera with 131.
This is where the pitchers and the hitters, kind of the cat and mouse game. Last time up, remember, Curtis Granderson struck out on 3, had 3 changeups in 1 count. There was a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and then all of a sudden, as a hitter, you're seeing so many changeups that you kind of lose the sight of his fastball.
Boone Logan up. Count 2-2.
That was his breaking ball, but that was his off-speed pitch because of he's used to changeup so much early in the game to Curtis that he went with the slider instead of the changeup. Fastball up out of the zone, and all hard stuff other than the slider.
And the count full of 3-2. Granderson strikes out a lot, so it's no gimme you're going to start Jeter here on 3-2.
A lot of times as a base runner, if you know a hitter is a strikeout guy in 3-2, you almost take it upon yourself to steal the base. You don't take it for granted that he's going to put it in play.
Swing and a miss. That's why you don't start him. So Granderson down on strikes for the second time tonight.
Oh, he went to the off-speed pitch again. In the 3-2 count, he hadn't seen it all. There it is, that split finger. Used as a changeup. Good pitch. The key to Gonzalez is he throws just hard enough to be able to throw that fastball inside. 91, 92, you can get away with it. Where, it makes his slider a little bit better and it makes his split finger good when he throws it over in a strikeout count. One there. So that movement there is totally away from a left-handed hitter. It's almost like a screwball, but it's a split-fingered fastball, same one that Freddie throws. It's a movement away from a lefty, and then he'll throw that slider in on his hands.
Count 0-2.
Good time for Derek to run here. I mean, this is a breaking ball count. Down and in. Ball in the dirt. And I know as a base runner, a lot of times when they're going to throw that, you see that slider. He puts the run on.
Teixeira struck out 3 times against Gonzalez.
He used everything there. He threw a split finger, then he threw a fastball right in on his hands, and then he threw that slider. Got a little bit too much of the plate for 0-2, but see Wieters off the plate. That ball ends up getting a lot of the plate. You saw 3 different pitches there, and as a hitter, you know, when you only see a pitch once, then it kind of registers. But when he throws 3 different pitches for strike 3, all of a sudden you're out of the count on the bench, and you haven't really got into the count. Gonzalez has done a really good job. A lot of time he backed up that slider down and in. You see 0 for 12 with Robbie. I mean, that's almost a slump for him. Swung the bat so well in the last couple months that a lot of times you see that ball is out of the zone, and I've said it many times. The only time he really gets in a problem hitting is when he starts leaving the strike zone.
High fly ball, left field, move forward. Puts it away for the final out. So Derek Jeter's leadoff single is wasted. We're going to the 7th inning in the stadium. Orioles up by 1. Betamit leads off. There's 3 2-0s, 3-9-0, leading 2-4-0. Ibanez, a solo home run, 2-run scored. Betamit, a solo home run, also 2-run scored. Gonzalez has pitched well, hasn't not walked the batter. 7 strikeouts, thrown 94 pitches over 6 innings. Freddie Garcia, who pitched the first 6 innings for the Yankees, he's out as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. So Garcia can lose, he cannot win. And Boone Logan now will come on to face the bottom of the order for the O's. 49th game for Logan, so he's pitched a lot. 42 strikeouts in 33 innings. Now Garcia is filling in the rotation for Andy Pettitte. There are a couple of reports that Andy was a little bit down, that he was behind schedule with a second x-ray that he took, but the Yankees said he is not behind schedule. That's the ebb and flow of any kind of injury and any kind of rehabilitation. Can't rush himself back anyway. He's on the 60-day DL, so there's no need to push it, and the Yankees believe that he's going to be ready when that DL stint is over with. So they were not alarmed at all, although Andy seemed a little concerned that the first x-ray showed more healing than this one. But again, the Yankees don't seem that concerned. Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Orioles lead the Yankees. It's Betemit at the strike.
You know that Freddie Garcia comes out of this game with 93 pitches, and Betemit hit a home run early, so he was right on the on the border of being able to give Joe Girardi another inning. But here's a guy leading off that's had success with him tonight, so you go to the bullpen.
So Freddie's 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts and no walks. 2-2.
This is really the big step you've seen in Boone Logan this year, is being able to come out of the bullpen and not just coming in to get a left-hander out. Joe Girardi will leave him in there. It's a good matchup to some righties. Switch Betemit around. He's got good enough stuff to get righties and lefties out.
And he strikes out Betemit for the first out of the 7. On August 4th, the Yankees will team up with DKMS to strike out blood cancer. All guests in attendance receive a special red Yankees cap, and they're encouraged to stop by any Delete blood cancer swab station throughout the stadium to swab and register. With a simple swab of your cheek, you have the power to save the life of someone with blood cancer. So come out to Yankee Stadium on August 4th and get swabbed and help delete blood cancer. 1 down, that'll bring up Mark Reynolds. And a strike. Fastball's high, 1-1.
We talked about Jabba Chamberlain earlier in the game, so I'm sitting on the bench. As well as he's been throwing, I mean, you got to figure out what his role is going to be when he comes back. And he's not going to throw the 9th, 9th, and 10th. I mean, Soriano's done such a great job. Robertson seems to be comfortable in the air. Just another power arm in the middle of the game.
I would think he probably hits the 7th. And then the days that he's not available, then they'll mix and match with Boone Logan and Epley and Rapallo.
He might have Jabba rules when he comes back. You never know.
He hasn't pitched in a year, so he's well rested.
Impressive wave going here tonight, Mike.
Two. Another strikeout. Reynolds down.
Another breaking ball. Boone Logan has a good enough fastball and good enough arm speed. Get those righties swinging at that ball, on top of that ball in the dirt. So it's a hard slider down and in.
Let's see if Donald Trump takes part in the wave. Little off.
Got his own wave.
You see Bill O'Reilly's wave? Just put one finger up.
One finger,
yeah.
That was enough.
count 2-0.
You know, when you're little watching games and stuff, the wave, it's been around for a while. What do you think, Michael?
I don't like it.
Yeah?
Nope.
Mid-'80s? Early 80s?
Yeah, probably. I think it started in a football game. The 3-0. There's a strike. I think what it is a manifestation of being bored. I mean, if you were really into the game, I don't think you'd be playing that. But I guess I'm an old fuddy-duddy.
Heard that word in a while.
That's because I'm an old fuddy-duddy. So he gets the two righty batters and then walks the lefty as Quintanilla gets a 2-out walk.
Yeah, every once in a while the wave gets tired. It's time to put it to bed. This is important out here. You don't want to go to your bullpen twice in an inning if you don't want to. Listen, you got a lefty on lefty here. Logan needs to get this out. We can start fresh next inning.
There's a strike. David Phelps warming for the Yanks. If you're on the field, Paul, and people doing the wave, is it distracting?
No, I really never know. You kind of just, you know, you have some idle time. You kind of watch and see, you know, how synchronized they are. And you can kind of feel when it's going out. Usually has 2 or 3 times around. That's about it.
They say the first wave in a baseball game was 1981 in Oakland.
I told you, I was a senior in high school. I remember watching that.
And the first wave of note was at the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal.
Wow.
We called up Wikipedia.
You got him on the horn?
2-1. 2-2.
See how comfortable Markakis looked off of Freddie Garcia and how uncomfortable he looks off Boone Logan. Just looks like he's off balance a little bit. That ball inside he's not getting to, and this breaking ball he's kind of out front of. Totally different at bat.
Has not struck out in his last 48 plate appearances. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that one is driven into right center field. He gave it a ride. That ball is going to be off the base of the wall. Quintanilla rounds third. He's coming home. He will score an RBI double for Markakis, and the O's now lead 4-2.
Every once in a while you look at it, you think that sometimes a pitcher will overthink what he needs to do. Markakis was so out front of that breaking ball that you figure, you know, you'll sneak a fastball in. Markakis right on it, drives it to right center field. Some given nights you have a good breaking ball. He got a couple strikeouts against righties with a breaking ball, but then gave up a big hit to Nick Markakis on the fastball.
Well, they're going to call on the kid Phelps as Logan gets the first 2 batters batting right-handed, then gives up hits, or a walk and a hit to the 2 lefties. He departs. Yankees trail 4-2. Yes Network Yankees games on your PCs or laptops with Verizon Fios. Get the remaining season of live Yankees games on the go for just $39.99. And if you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Well, Boone Logan walks Quintanilla with 2 outs and then serves up an RBI double to Markakis. That makes it 4-2 Orioles. Yankees bring in David Phelps, who has pitched very well since coming back from the minor leagues. And Joe Girardi said the reason is more consistent work as he deals a strike to J.J. Hardy. Since being recalled on July 1st, he's allowed just 1 hit in 7 1/3 innings, and he has struck out 12. Count 1-1. Orioles with 10 hits and 4 runs. Yankees just 4 hits and 2 runs.
Gonzalez, if you look at the job that he's done, I mean, he really kept Yankee hitters off balance all night, using all 3 of his pitches. Freddie Garcia did well with his off-speed stuff, had trouble locating his fastball. And Boone Logan, after getting 2 quick outs, gave up a big run.
Gonzalez staying loose.
You watch these series, Michael, and it started with Boston, and even right.
Tough hop over the leaping try of Teixeira. Coming home is Markakis. The throw is flipped into Cano. It's an RBI single for Hardy. Now it's 5-2 O's.
And Hardy hits this ball hard, but a tough hop for Mark Teixeira. Again, every run that you tack on, the Orioles bullpen has been pretty good this year. All away. Hardy drives it that way. Ball just came up on Teixeira and kind of went back at him. See that? I'll tell you what hurts is when you kind of reach back and you see him arch his back there. Yeah, you'll feel that the next day. Hand kind of sticks in the mud.
Stevie Donahue was out there with Teixeira along with Joe Girardi, but he's going to stay in.
What I was saying, Michael, is that, even right after the All-Star break, and then you go out Oakland. I mean, they're playing games that are very important. Boston comes in here, important games. Baltimore, for them to be in the wild card, these are important games. And sometimes, you get so comfortable where you are up in the American League East. You're playing teams that are, that have a fire lit under them because they have to win day in and day out to stay in this thing. And, if the Yankees, you just can't lay back and say, hey, we've got a big lead. It's a great place to be in, a great situation, but you need to go and continue to go out and beat teams.
There's a strike to Davis, count 0-2. Gets away from Stewart, but the runner stays put.
You look at the runs that really haunt you throughout the game, and it's the 2-out runs. And Baltimore has tacked on 2 runs this inning with 2 outs and nobody on base. And those are the runs that you look at the scoreboard and wonder how you got down 3 runs. And all of a sudden, big hits on the Baltimore side, a couple missed pitches on the Yankees side.
Foul back. Missed inside, count 2-2.
A lot of these losses, you talked about the Yankees being, 3-7 in their last 10 games, have been one-run games, two-run games. And, last time we did games together, they were in the middle of that streak where they were scoring 3 or more every. I don't even know where that streak ended. Was it 30 or 40 games or something? Now last night, you only get a couple runs. Tonight, you only get a couple runs so far. So, the home runs have cooled off a little bit, and you're not throwing up those 6-7 runs every night. And you've got to learn to win games like that. And that's the one thing, you add Ichiro, it's the one concern that Joe Girardi had as a manager is manufacturing runs at times when your big bats aren't hitting them into the seats. What did that streak end, Mike?
43.
43 consecutive games?
Yep. 2-2. Foul back. So the Orioles are up 5-2. 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the seventh. Yankees single runs in the second and the fifth. So Buck Showalter was sitting down the first couple of innings, now up against the railing. Strike 3. Davis down nothing. But not before the Orioles scored 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 man left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Orioles lead the Yankees 5-2, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
And offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Thank you, Bob. And right here at the stadium, Yankees are trailing 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And it gives us time to look at the K by K, which is brought to you by Mazda and explained to you by Paul.
Well, Miguel, Gonzalez, you'll see early in the game, fastball. Split finger. So later in the game, he's gone to his off-speed stuff. I'll tell you what, he's kept the Yankee batters 7 total strikeouts. Kept them off balance tonight.
So he's got 93 pitches as he goes into the 7th inning, and a Swisher will lead off. He has struck out twice. Yankees down by 3.
You know, this is a total different thing from Buck than we saw from Joe Girardi, because in 93 pitches, Freddie Garcia comes out of the game because the first 2 guys in the inning had success. Well, Gonzalez has had success against Swisher, so you send him out there again.
Be interesting to see what he does with Ibanez, who has 2 runs scored and a home run. He's on deck. And just in case Troy Patton is up.
A very good chance if Gonzalez gets through Swisher. Let's see Patton in there.
Hardy makes the play.
There we go.
So he's going to leave him in. Those 2 runs make it a little easier to make that decision. 3-2, maybe you go to Patton because one swing could change things. There's a strike to Ibanez.
It's the first curveball, real curveball I've seen him throw all night. He's thrown some sliders and he thrown a split finger, but that was an overhand curveball.
Hammered foul.
What, Ibanez can get to that ball inside. He's having trouble keeping it fair the last couple of days, but he has no problem getting to that inside fastball.
Swing and miss. Ibanez down on strikes, 2 away.
What, he even missed his target there. The ball was supposed to be down and away, but he had good enough stuff to get it by Ibanez, and he had also shown him that inside corner on the pitch before.
Here's Chavez.
If you're Buck Showalter, you look at this inning and it's the one you kind of hesitate. You just hope to get another inning, and then, you know, Gonzalez goes out and gets a couple quick outs. I think you can just breeze through this inning.
Count 1-2. He's really dealing.
I'll tell you what, that split finger, he's got good arm speed with it, and he's getting good movement away from left-handed hitters, which when you're trying to pick that ball up, there's such good arm speed, it looks like a fastball, and you just see the movement of it. Tell when a pitcher and a catcher really are on the same page. I mean, there's no shaking off, and it just seems like the pitcher is aggressive because you know there's no time to think about anything. They're thinking the same pitch every pitch.
That one's driven deep to right. There it goes. See ya! A monster home run for Eric Chavez, and it's 5-3 Baltimore.
Again, you see that's the first pitch that he's even missed with all inning. The ball's supposed to be away. Ends up over the middle of the plate, but Eric Chavez absolutely hammered that ball.
That was some blast.
See the leaders reaching across, and you see him just reach for another baseball, but that ball close to hitting the upper deck.
Went into the luxury boxes and then fell back down.
The four-seam grip, four-seamers you can't miss with. Ball's supposed to be low and away. Total extension.
9th home run for Chavez. So Rick Adair, the pitching coach, comes out and talks with Gonzalez. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Ichiro looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Fly to left, fly to center. Pitch outside. He's hitting every game as a Yankee, first 6. Those are his numbers with the Yankees in Seattle. 264 homers, 28 ribbies, a startlingly low 287 on base percentage. 2-0. Foul back. You see Ichiro's wearing number 31 as Darren O'Day joins Troy Patton. Or 51 in Seattle. Said he didn't want to ask the Yankees for 51 because he knew that a great player had used it and didn't want to insult anybody by asking. 51 was Bernie's number. Dave Winfield wore 31 for the Yankees, and when Ichiro said that, he said, well, I know a lot of people have worn it since, but no one's worn it as well as I did. And he's in the Hall of Fame. That one's driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A home run for Ichiro. His 100th of his career. And it's 5-4 O's. Back-to-back blows for the New York Yankees.
The 2-0 pitch. I was even kind of surprised that Ichiro was swinging at the 2-0 pitch, but you can see he was in a pull mode, and all of a sudden he got another pitch he could pull. You see him kind of bail before that ball got there. Smart enough hitter to realize nobody on base, he can put another point on the board.
So Ichiro Suzuki hits one out, his first Yankee home run. The stadium is alive. Bucks going to the bullpen. 296 doubles, 79 triples, and now 100 home runs, and the 100th home run came on this swing. And this is a picture he must have. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to need another camera for this one. Yeah.
I'm a little confused. What do I do now? Yeah.
That's a huge moment for Ichiro, who is really trying to revitalize what was or is a Hall of Fame career. And he's last 2 years he's come back down to earth just a bit. But now a 7-game hitting streak as a Yankee as Russell Martin pinch hits against Darren O'Day. Martin is hitting for. And the Yankees with back-to-back home runs have pulled to within one. That one's driven to center field. Adam Jones back will make the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees, a home run by Chavez, a home run by Ichiro. We go to the 8th. It's the Orioles 5 and the Yankees 4 on yes. How was Ichiro greeted when he went out to right field after the home run? Take a look and listen.
Again, you see Ichiro, he's kind of cheating inside. He wants a pitch to drive. You see that front hip just fly open. And that's the way that he can kind of cheat and pull the ball, knew it right off the bat. Just took a chance he could get a ball to pull, and he got it.
We've heard so many things about Ichiro being a phenomenal BP home runner, and you played with a guy that was like that as well, Wade Boggs. Is it difficult to bring that into a game where they just don't want to get away from what they do well?
Well, he's been so successful at what he does that, you know, and BP fastballs, believe me, are a lot easier to turn on than a major league fastball in the middle of the game. So every once in a while, in a certain situation, you could tell in that 2-0 pitch that he was looking to pull that whole at bat. A player, a veteran player, will take a chance and look for a ball that he can spin on, and he got it. And the thing is, he didn't pull it foul. He hit it in the seats.
Now you saw there that Eric Chavez has moved to first. Adam Jones with a slow roll to the third. Jason Nix grabs him in foul territory, and you have to worry just a bit. Remember, Mark Teixeira was shaking, I believe it was his left hand, on the J.J. Hardy single in the last inning right down the line. So he's out of the game now as Chavez has moved to first, and as soon as we get any information, we will get it right to you. They've already lost one coin. Alex Rodriguez. And here's how Teixeira lands on. It's the right hand that bothered him, so he landed hard on that hand.
You see the reason why. I mean, you're diving towards the ball, and all of a sudden it kind of takes a hop back, and it puts your body in a weird position, and he just landed, kind of stuck that right hand, and it kind of jerked at the end.
So Teixeira gets up, and it looks like he is shaking his left hand. So yeah, it was right at his glove hand. So it came down hard on both hands, and now he is out of the game. And that's going to be a bit costly, or could be costly, because he's due up third in the 8th inning. So now you're going to have Nix hitting in the number 3 hole instead of Teixeira. Jones fouls it away.
You'll see if you dive straight to the ball, you kind of slide, but you see him reach back, and it's because that ball bounced back this way, and it just puts your body completely out of rhythm, and you just land funny because it's not like a head first slide at that point.
Nix gets an opportunity right away, and they get the hustling Jones for the first out.
Another guy that, coming into the year looked for big offensive numbers, but you look at, 239, just he's a better hitter than that, and he's shown it. And recently he's been swinging the bat a little bit better.
Pitch inside to Wieters. Missed outside 2-0. We've been telling you the Orioles bullpen has been a little shaky of late, including their closer Jim Johnson. We'll see how they get these final 6 outs.
One of the craziest games I've seen all year against Oakland the other day, where there was back and forth, and Johnson gave up a bunch at the end to not close it. Those are the games that they need to win. When they have a lead, as good as their bullpen was in the first half, they need to win those games.
And Wieters walks on 4 pitches. Well, you can vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Wilson Betemit. Number 2, Eric Chavez. Number 3, Ichiro Suzuki. Number 4, Nick Markakis. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply.
Extra mark when you hit a career mark for each year? Extra little bonus in the voting?
You would think so.
Fight back. Now you're down 1 run, and you feel, the next couple innings you could score a couple. You really have to rely on your bullpen here to shut the Orioles down. Give your offense a chance to get back out there.
Broken back, grounded back to Phelps. There's 1. Not in time. The throw might have taken Chavez off the bag as Ford beat it out.
Michael, some bats break and then some bats just explode. That bat ended all the way out towards shortstop. Just shattered it. Good pitch by Phelps. You see the ball just running in. That's a bad feeling when you're a hitter. Wow. See Robbie drop down on that and just release it a little bit high. Looked like he had him, but Eric Chavez off the bag. These have been the situations where the Yankees get 2 outs. They have not been able to get that 3rd out. And you fought back with a couple home runs. Very important to throw another 0 up and let the Yankees get right back up at the plate.
Popped up. Vanya is playing deep, comes in, makes the play, and Benavides is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Top of the order for the Yankees coming up. They trail by 1.
Post game, Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are back in the studio to wrap up today's series opener and get the latest from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovich gets the reaction from the clubhouse. It's a W.B. Mason post game only on Yes, Michael. Nowhere else can you find that.
That's right, just here.
You see the W. Mason trucks? Those things are awesome, aren't they?
You mentioned that. You really like that.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Chavez takes over in left field. A lot of people have said that the W.B. Mason man looks just like John Flaherty.
Flash with a fake
little mustache. Pedro Strop comes on. Look at his numbers. 1.37. A little too many walks, though. To Derek Jeter. Jeter 1 for 3. Hyundai scoreboard 5-4 O's. Grounded off the glove of Strop. Goes into right field. It's a base hit for Jeter. His 2nd hit of the night.
Derek Jeter comes right out of the batter's box swinging. Fastball right up the middle off of Strop's glove. Those are good breaks when you're a hitter, because a lot of times those things will ricochet right over to the second baseman and you just feel like you can't get any luck. You see Mr. and Mrs. Jeter.
After all these years, they still get excited about every hit.
Excited about the hits.
Derek Jeter's 39th multi-hit game. Tied with Billy Butler for 2nd most in the American League. Miguel Cabrera has 42. Jeter had 45 multi-hit games all last year. Granderson hits one deep to center. Jones back on the track, makes the play. So Granderson gave it a ride.
I'll tell you, that ball was hit pretty well, and on a hot night, that ball's got a chance. Center just kept it in the middle of the field was the only problem. Deepest part of the ballpark. You see Derek Jeter all the way around second base. Good sound to it. Everything right. Just didn't carry.
So now here is Jason Nix. This would be Teixeira's spot. We haven't heard word on why he had to leave the game. He was shaking his left wrist. So Nix took over at third, and Chavez moved from third to first. So Nix batting third. Pitch outside. Yankees down by 1. We're in the bottom of the 8th. A lot of excitement in the 7th. Back-to-back home runs by Chavez and Ichiro. Ichiro's 100th career home run, his first in pinstripes. Now has a 7-game hitting streak as a Yankee. Grounded up the middle. There's one. On to first. Not in time and dropped anyway by Reynolds. Could not come up with the scoop.
Close. The big thing is to knock that ball down, make sure that it doesn't go in the dugout or anything like that. Get the sure out. Showalter's got to feel a lot better after a leadoff single and nobody out. All of a sudden you look up, he's got a couple outs and then still on first. But you got a dangerous hitter in Robbie Cano, who's been struggling a little bit.
Right. Crowd of 43,052 here at the stadium. Soriano and Ricotta getting ready. Cano is hitless in his last 13 at bats. Odd for him, hitting .310. Broken back ground ball to second. Quintanilla over to Reynolds, and that will do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We're going to the 9th inning. Mark Reynolds will lead it off. WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper discusses the addition of Ichiro Suzuki and the loss of Alex Rodriguez. Plus, Joe answers your questions submitted on Twitter. It's the Joe Girardi Show tonight after the postgame, and catch a new edition Sunday at 5 only on Yes. We go to the 9th inning. Mark Reynolds leads off against David Phelps, and the first pitch is a strike. Reynolds 2 for 3, single, double, run scored, and a strikeout. Count 0-2.
He went thing you do see with Phelps. He's not afraid to throw strikes, and that's the first thing you look at as a manager coming out of a bullpen, is a pitcher that will throw strikes, get ahead of hitters. Nothing worse than seeing a guy come in and start, loading the bases up with walks. Have to be confident enough in your stuff to know that you can throw strikes and get away with it.
The 1-2. Grounded foul. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, and why not? Yankees have Swisher, Ibanez, and Chavez, and if anybody gets on, Ichiro.
The new power hitting Ichiro.
Yes.
Well, didn't take him long to find that power stroke like everybody else here in Yankee Stadium. He makes that hat look like it's been worn for 20 years, doesn't he?
He's got it fitted just perfectly. It almost looks like the hat that David Wells wore.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Babe Ruth, yeah.
He wears his hat in the dugout, too, which, a lot of other players don't do that. You take your hat off and lay it on your glove, and he wears his hat in the dugout. Always notice that.
So they get Reynolds. You didn't wear your hat in the dugout?
No, you take it off and you just lay it on your glove, and, you rest a little bit. He always, like he's ready to pinch runs. Everybody's got their hat off. He's got his hair off, too.
This is after the home run. He takes the helmet off, and then the hat goes on. Very into seeing that. Very nice. David Phelps is gone. They go to the bullpen with Quintanilla coming up. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Honda. Visit and find your own great ending at the summer clearance event now at your Honda dealer. By Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. And by Blimpie, fresh, flavorful, and always delicious. Try one of Blimpie's all-American wraps today. Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Clay Rapata will come on, face his former teammates, the Orioles. And he will face Omar Quintanilla with 1 out and nobody on here in the ninth inning. Orioles lead by 1, 5-4. There's a strike.
While you were reading that, Michael, they were showing his motion in slow motion. It looked harder to hit in slow motion than it did in regular. I mean, there's so many things going on in this sidewind delivery.
Most important thing, though, is what he just did. Just throw strikes and get ahead.
See, you're so used to picking up the ball up in here. And now you're out in here. It's just a completely different look for a left-handed hitter.
Lefties hitting just 152 against Rapata. And Girardi has used Rapata very, very well this year as the second lefty. That one, a broken bat blooper in the center field. It's a base hit. So a single for Quintanilla.
See, sometimes as a pitcher, you do everything right. You get him out on your front foot, reaching off the end of the bat, broken bat. Couldn't throw it out there any better.
There's Nick Markakis. Swing and a miss.
Very surprised if Markakis sees any kind of fastball in this count to hit. After what he did at Boone Logan earlier in the game, you know, he was out front of a couple curveballs. There was another one, and then he ended up driving that fastball in out to right center field. It ended up being a huge hit for the Baltimore Orioles tonight.
Chad Qualls ready for the Yanks. You might see him come on to get J.J. Hardy. Count 2-1.
In case you need to update your scoreboard there, Michael, we can go down to the cameras.
Not a very neat scorecard. Base hit for Markakis. So Rapata comes on and gives up 2 base hits to the 2 lefties he has to face. And let's see if Girardi goes to Qualls. Looks like he will. So Boone Logan did not do well against the lefties. Gave up a walk to Quintanilla, a double to Markakis. And this time Rapata gives up a single Quintanilla and a single to Markakis.
Inspirational stories as the Yankees made dreams come true for some deserving fans. Hope Week Remembered premieres tomorrow at 11, only on Yes.
All right, so the Yankees trying to hold it right here at 5-4 O's. And they bring in Chad Qualls, the 5th pitcher used by Girardi. Those are the numbers on Qualls with the Phillies and the Yankees. Freddie Garcia started, went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 9 hits. He's the pitcher of record right now. Then Boone Logan, David Phelps, Clay Rapata, and now Qualls.
Again, another big situation, and the Orioles have been good in these situations tonight of trying to tack on extra runs, especially going into the bottom of the 9th inning. You would want to keep it right here And the manager.
Mondays have been a terrible day for the Orioles. They are 1-10 on Mondays.
I saw that. I mean, what is that?
I don't know.
Big dinner
Some
on
stats,
Sunday night?
yeah, some stats don't make sense, but there's got to be something to it. They're 0-4 in Baltimore and 1-6 on the road on Mondays.
God, Monday's an off day once in a while for the Orioles.
The 1-0. It's always a new series. Sometimes I guess you're traveling and you either land home or on the road somewhere.
Keep going. I haven't figured when it works yet.
Do with it what you like. 1-10 on Mondays. 2-0. And there's a strike. The 2-1. 2-2.
We've seen a lot of pitching changes with Hardy coming to the plate, and there's a reason for it. Hardy came into the game hitting 300 off lefties, only 200 off righties. So if you're playing a numbers game, obviously you're going to make him face righties. Look at that. Cameramen pick up everything. You see that? Tattoo on the front.
That's a new wave letting me. Joe's got the old wave. The 2-2. Right back to Qualls. There's one. Back to first. And it pulls him off the bag. So the inning is still alive.
You see Robbie to figure out why. I mean, this is not like him. He had plenty of time to get rid of this ball. Pull Chavez off the bat. Quaz is really moving. Gives him a good throw. It's like he just kind of rushed it a little bit.
Now those games or those plays not scored an error, but it could come back to haunt you now because Chris Davis gets a hack that he would not have gotten. Let's see if the Yankees could get him. And they do, so no harm, no foul. Nice hop to Cano, and that will do it. Last licks coming up for the Yankees. They trail by 1. It'll be Swisher, Ibanez, and Chavez as the Yankees try for some pie. And the Yankees continue this series with Adam Jones and the O's. Coverage starts at 6 without a batting practice today in the Tri-State 4 pregame. Then Paul and I are back in the booth for all the action. It's only on Yes. And remember, Wednesday is a day game, so mark that down in your calendar to watch here on Yes. Wednesday matinee. The Yankees are worried about the bottom of the 9th inning right here, and Jim Johnson made his first All-Star game this year, 1-1, 30 saves and 33 opportunities. His numbers speak for themselves, and he blew his 3rd save of the season and took his first loss of the year on Friday against Oakland. 1/3 of an inning, allowed 6 earned runs, and those are his last 8 games. An 18.47 ERA, so maybe the Yankees getting him at the right time right here in the bottom of the ninth. Let's see if they could tag him with another blown save, and they would walk off with a win. It'll be Swisher, Ibanez, and Chavez. Swisher 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a pop up to short. 5-4 Orioles. Yankees are 0-34 this year when trailing after 8 innings. Pitch inside, which is kind of hard to believe.
I would have never guessed that stat. As many home runs and late heroics you think that they have. Obviously, after 8 innings, they haven't had many.
Ichiro is at 99 home runs. He got his 100th. Nick's at 199. And that one is driven deep to right center field. That ball is in there and bounces into the Yankee bullpen for a double.
Can you talk about confidence? And Johnson just does not have it now. You see this pitch? It's got tail to it, but it doesn't have great sink. And if you're a sinker ball pitcher, you need to have that ball going down. With that tail, Swisher's still able to drive that ball to right center field. Kind of surprising to me that the Orioles aren't playing no doubles with Adam Jones deep enough to run this ball down, but it wasn't. I think Swisher puts a good swing on it.
All right, so Nick Swisher taken out of the game for a pinch runner. It's Ramiro Pena. He's the tying run at second base. They want him to score on a single. Ibanez at the plate. Takes outside. That was in the 5th inning as Ibanez went yard.
And Johnson takes something off that ball. Ibanez is really looking for that ball up in the zone, which he got off Gonzalez.
There's that sinker that Paul was talking about, 1 and 2.
These are the at-bats as a hitter. You really can't let your mind wander and think, you know, if I hit a home run here, you know, this game's over. You got to realize that, you know, you got to take what the pitcher gives you. A base hit will tie this game up. I feel if you tie it up, you're going to win it at home. And then sometimes as a hitter, you know, you get bullheaded. You want to go big. You want to hit that big home run. Sometimes the pitcher doesn't give you that pitch to drive.
Swing and a foul ball as Ibanez stays alive. Ichiro 2 batters away. Just missed outside. 2 and 2. Ramiro Pena is the tying run at second.
So Johnson's trying everything he can. He threw a changeup. He's throwing a hard sinker, and he went with a curveball there. Didn't quite get back to the outside corner. Ibanez has been so good at getting to the ball inside. You got to feel like Baltimore's going to stay away from there. Try to get him out of the way. Put the ball in the middle of the field.
Swing and a miss. He got a big strikeout for Johnson. The runner stays put at second.
And you saw Ibanez early in the count really swing through a changeup, and I think that Wieters made up his mind and Johnson made up their mind that they were going to get him out with off-speed stuff. You see that changeup grip? It's a circle change up there, and he kind of turns it over. He said Ibanez has been so good at getting to that fastball that sometimes you're so quick that you get ahead of that changeup.
There's a strike to Eric Chavez.
It's hard to believe that's 96 with that much movement. And that's when Johnson is at his best, when he can throw that heavy sinker in the mid-90s.
Pitch outside, 1-1. Last time up, Chavez goes yard.
Another fastball, and that one was just a no-doubter. That ball came up on the inside corner, and again, if you're Wieters, you've got to remember, you know, he got to a good fastball in. If we show him in, it's got to be off the plate, but we want to try to get him away, get him out away.
Count 2-1. Game on the line here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-4 Orioles. Yankees have a runner at second, 1 out. Now it's 3-1 to Chavez. On deck is Ichiro.
Think he's all loaded up there with Phil?
I think so.
And this is when, I mean, Johnson can go after him if he can get his good sinker over.
And he walked it. So Ichiro, who electrified the crowd with the home run in the 7th inning, comes up with a chance to tie, win, or end the game for the Yankees.
Again, a totally different at bat. Right here, he was nobody on. He was looking to pull. Now he can use the whole field. Dangerous at batter. He's always been pretty good at driving in runs by using the whole field. Well, this year he's been down a little bit, but in the past he's been a tough out with men in scoring position.
7-game hitting streak for Ichiro. Runners on first and second. Count 1-0.
Just look at Johnson. You don't care how good a guy's stuff is. You just cannot continually pitch from behind. Gets you in a hitter's count, but it also allows hitters to see the movement of the ball, the velocity of the ball.
The 1-0. Grounded softly to short. They get one on to first, not in time. So the Yankees now with 2 outs, runners on first and third, and that'll bring up Russell Martin.
See, Johnson got his good sinker there, and Ichiro tries to go the other way, but just beats it in the ground. Movement of that ball just down and away. Absolutely no chance with him going down the line.
So now it comes down to this. Russell Martin came on in the 7th inning and pinch hit last night. He hit a home run to make it 2-1 going the other way. And then he tied the game at 2 with that RBI single up the middle. Did not start today. Pinch hit in the 7th inning. Drove Adam Jones back to the warning track in center field for the final out of the 7th inning. Now he has a chance to win the game or tie the game, or same thing with Ichiro, end the game. And a strike.
Started him off with a breaking ball, and Russell Martin. If you watched that pitch last night, that first pitch from Aceves was a fastball. And I don't know if you're home. The Baltimore Orioles home watching that, but you know, pitchers remember those things. Russell Martin comes out of their fastball hitter first pitch.
The 0-1. 1-1. Obviously, he can also extend the game with a walk and push it to Derek Jeter. Last 4 games starting to heat up just a little bit. 4 at-bats against Johnson lifetime, 2 hits. The rally cap is on as the Yankees looking to tie this game. Jeter's on deck. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Another breaking ball, and again, you just saw his fastball at 95, and then you see that breaking ball at 82. That's a big difference. Again, it looked like Russell Martin was going to try to pull that ball with that fastball that comes in on your hands.
Runner goes, 1-2 is outside. So Ichiro moves to second, which is not insignificant, because now a single could possibly win the game. So the count 2-2 now on Martin.
the stolen base?
Yes, it is. Although they didn't cover, it means a lot. So they elected not to cover in case he swung and grounded the ball through the vacated hole. So second and third, 2 outs. Yankees down by 1, bottom of the 9th. Time called by Martin. It's been a rough season for Russell Martin. Average-wise, hitting .188. He's done the job behind the plate, but this could be a big moment for him. Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over as Johnson strikes him out with the tying run at third and the winning run at second, and the Yankees lose this one 5-4 to Baltimore. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left, and yet to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. So the Yankees lose for the 8th time in their last 11 games, and the Orioles hold on for a 5-4 victory and now pull to within 6.5 games of the Yankees in the American League East. So the Orioles celebrate, and the Yankees will come back tomorrow night. They got close, not close enough.